Look at you, AJ, making everybody wait for a show that's supposed to begin 6 minutes ago. Stupid traffic.
If I had one superpower, it would be to control Atlanta traffic and move it all out of the way. Sorry about that, guys. What's up, man? Hey, did you know?
I did not.
That there was an update for the PlayStation app on your phone where this is amazing stuff. You can now change the colors of your app on your phone to you can make it from slightly dark theme to midnight black.
You made all these people wait all of this time, and this is how you're rewarding them.
But now you can have faintly pink colored app on your phone.
Oh
it's like it's all faint colors.
Sci-fi Gamecat Henry's in the comments and in the chat, and he said he AJ'd the whole show.
I did AJ the whole show.
All right, dude. Let's not waste these people's time anymore. Let's get this show going.
Let's go.
This is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every single Monday, West Day, and 2 Eyes Friday, right here on Without Parole. We do it live on video on YouTube, 6 p.m. Eastern, for your viewing pleasure. I don't know what's going on the other side over there, but we should stop it like immediately.
2 Eyes. This is my new 2 Eyes Friday dance.
Yeah,
yeah. I totally made that up just right now.
I want it next week. I want you to be prepared with a Monday dance.
Okay. Better bring your wallet. It's going to cost you.
If we do it over on podcast services of your choice, that's right, for your oral pleasure. If you're listening at home, how's it sound? What are you doing? You cooking? You cleaning? You vacuuming? You washing the tub? My name is Brian Powell from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole. And this gentleman over here on the right-hand side of your screen is AJ from The Underground, PSVR Underground.
What is up, Brian? What is up, Game Cats? Happy Monday. And we know that Mondays usually suck, but we are here to ensure your Monday sucks. Just a little bit less.
I keep trying to flip the camera back and forth. I'm like, I'm going to flip it to me, like looking bored while you're like doing this big dramatic thing. And then I was like, what if he says something? So we need a producer really fast. AJ, just a little bit of housekeeping before we get the show really moving here. Please, if you're not already a member of our Discord server, click the link in the description below. Join us over there. That's where conversations like this happen 24/7 with the excitement of PSVR2 building at a meteoric pace. That's a good word right there. Meteoric. That's where these conversations happen all the time. It's absolutely crazy. But also, with PSVR2 so close at hand, you're going to need all the coverage you can get. So if you don't already subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground, that link is in the description below as well. Click that link, subscribe to his channel, and while you're at it, subscribe to this one. It's so weird, man. Every time I tell people to subscribe to this channel, they do. It's like,
oh, wow.
What were you doing before? I don't know. Hey,
can't wait, man. 9 days, Brian. 9 days. These channels are going to be exploding. We are in the single digits, Brian. The single digits.
That can't be right. 9 days? That doesn't seem real.
9 days.
Wow.
It is real.
9 days. If only we had some kind of counter on the screen that was keeping people abreast of how many more days. Oops, that's not it. I was trying to be all slick and be like, if only there was a timer, and then like casually just bring it up, and then there it is. It's off center for some reason though. God only knows why.
Proof. There's the proof.
There's the proof. If it wasn't for the timer, here we go. There's 8 days. PlayStation VR2. It's just horribly centered right here. We're just gonna put it boom right there. Perfect. What's happening? Andrew Bailey says with the 2 quid says you're busted, Brian. Breaking news wasn't mirrored. What the hell does that mean? What mirrored? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, in fact,
not that smart.
So just a heads up to everybody. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way real quick.
Ooh, what?
In case you weren't aware, Emails are going out right now, and they have been since last week. They started in the EU. More came out yesterday. More people are getting them today. But there are emails if you pre-ordered PSVR2 that are saying your payment will be processed very, very soon. So I encourage you to check your emails and make sure all your information is good to go, because we did have some people saying that they had the wrong credit card information. They had, somebody had a notice that said it had been canceled because it wasn't valid through their payment system or something. So make sure you go in there. But yeah, I don't think I've ever been so looking forward to being charged like $600.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but yeah, I mean, I actually wish we could have just like had it drafted out the second we pre-ordered it, honestly, just because, it's one less thing on your mind. Once it's paid for already, you can just move on and, and just deal with the consequences of having spent that much money. Right now, we're just like, waiting for it to come out and pretending like it's there. Yeah, it's crazy.
And if you didn't get your email, just be patient. Wait, don't worry.
I want to know, did anybody in the chat not get their... Okay, so we know so far that most of the cats in the UK get their email and most of the people in the US got their email. Let me know in the chat if you didn't get your email yet. And if you didn't, where in the world are you? Like, literally, I want to know, like, what country you live in. Just so we have an idea of who's still waiting for their emails.
Where in the world is the person that didn't get an email?
Good shit. I used to love that show. And I was way too old for it, just like my iCarly shit. Yeah, man, we got so much to talk about today. But it's Monday, AJ, and every single Monday, I feel like there's something we need to do. There's a whole group of cats out there who support us in a very unique way that we need to recognize right fucking now.
That's right. We would like to thank those who support us in another way by changing your name to something Gamecat, something Gamecat related, or something Gamecat adjacent, as you and something Gamecat adjacent like to say. And this week, we have 605 Gamecat name changes. Oh my God.
This is going to be the whole show.
No. We have 2 new Gamecats. Welcome to the Gamecat Dojo. Starting with Serial Killer, the race car palindrome Gamecat.
Bing! There he is. Oh, crap. Yeah, there he is. Oh, nope, that's not him. Here, Yoshi's going to just stay on the screen. Apparently, I didn't do this very well. Bing! There he is. Serial Killer, the race car palindrome Gamecat. I mean, dude, he's a race car. He's a race car fanatic. He's a Gran Turismo racer. And race car is an awesome palindrome. Who else do we have? AJ, spoilers, it's on the screen.
We've also got Yoshi, Gamecat, Rabbit Pratchety.
Bing! That was kind of anticlimactic. What is Pratchety? What is I know it's related to rabbits. I don't know what Pratchety means. I have no idea. Not a nature guy. Are you Googling it?
No, I'm actually looking at the thing. Hover Motion in the chat said, "No way, I just checked, and there it is. UK just got their email. You see, we spoke it into existence." Oberon, the Uncut Gamecat says Australia here. No email yet.
We know way too much about Oberon.
Don't you worry, mate. You'll be getting yours before we get ours, because you live in the future. Diego Darko says Digimon was dope as hell.
I mean, it's hard to disagree.
Spy Slash. We won't go through all these, but Spy Slash is also here. Says didn't get his, and he's from the UK.
Okay, so not everybody's gotten him. Good to know. So be patient. If you haven't gotten yours, you're not alone. Guys, if you change your name to Gamecat, because the Gamecats are the loyal following of Without Parole, and you love us almost as much as we love you, change your name to Gamecat on YouTube and Google, and then give us a shout out in the comments below any of our videos with a hashtag Gamecat, so I can find you and give you a shout out next Monday's show. Go take these off the screen, right there and right there. AJ, a lot happened today. Like a whole lot happened today. And one of the first things I think that people are really going to want to talk about is that we found out just how long Sense controller batteries last. And the answer is roughly, because battery life is a rough estimate.
And this is going by one of your people that you spoke to, right?
One of my people that I spoke to with a backup from a different person that I speak to.
Okay.
So yeah, roughly 4 hours. How do you feel about this, man? Is this going to be all right?
Well, this is the thing, is that I remember with the DualSense or the DualShock 4, I remember people always saying that the battery life was terrible, and I don't know. It wasn't as bad as people said, but and then on top of that, there was an option. There was like a light bar option, and people weren't like adjusting their light bar thing, or they made an update for it or something, and it was off to. But anyways, I digress. 4 hours is not enough for me personally. If this is true, we don't know. I don't know. I have to, find out for myself really. But if it is 4 hours, yeah, that's not really enough for me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's totally understandable. Yeah, I mean we have to take everything at face value when somebody tells us something. We obviously have to check it out for ourselves. There's we've heard from a few different people who played PSVR2. Nathan was out there saying that he wasn't thrilled with the lenses, but no one else was saying that. And so like, what do you do? Right? Do you take one person at their word, two people at their word? If enough people are saying it, at what point do you take people at their word? We've now heard this from the two people I've asked. Technically, have given us the same answer, and so let's. I'm going to say, for the sake of this conversation, this is probably accurate. Here's what concerns me, AJ. I'm not concerned in the slightest about this because 4 hours is decent for all the feedback you're getting and the haptics and whatever else. I feel like I'm going to be okay with this, but now I need a second set of Sense controllers. Because this is going to be fine for a lot of people out there who play VR in shorter bursts, 2, 3, 4 hours. That's going to be fine for them. But there's a lot of people out there who play VR all day, like you and me, AJ, who are going to need like 8 hours of battery life minimum. And so being able to play for 4 hours, charge those, and pick up your charged controllers from the docking station, and then play for another 4 hours, and then swap them back. You need two sets of controllers to go back and forth with. And I think that's going to be the important thing here. That's what's going to keep people from being too upset. Of course, PSVR 2 is expensive to begin with. And so the fact that you're going to need to spend even more money if you want to play for longer lengths of time is not going to be something too many people are thrilled with.
Yeah, if it is 4 hours, you mentioned it briefly there, but I think that's a really, really important factor of this, is that it would likely be due to the heavy use of haptics, the haptics, the adaptive triggers. I don't really know how much time I get out of the DualSense. I feel like I've never really had an issue with it running out. The other thing to factor in here, which Procrastigamers points out, which I was going to mention and nailed it on the head as well. It says if quick charge is under an hour, that's fine, but still annoying. And that is true. There are lots of technologies out there, the quick charge technology where, okay, it only lasts 4 hours, but what if it takes 30 minutes to charge them? I don't know if that's a thing, if that's a possibility. It will be interesting to see. This is why I don't take, stuff that I hear from people, even though this is probably accurate in their experience. There could be more to the story here, so I need more data, Brian, is what I'm saying. I like data.
Yeah, understandable. And the other thing, I think that there's a silver lining here for a lot of us, not everybody, of course, but for a lot of us who have been obsessed with, getting a racing rig, which I have been playing with constantly, by the way. Absolutely love it. Yes, there'll be a video. Don't worry. Hakuna Matata. The racing rig is the other immersive controller for PSVR 2. And so I absolutely have no problem playing for 4 hours, putting those controllers down, charging them, and then jumping into my racing rig and playing Gran Turismo for a few hours while those things charge. So it's not the end of the world here. There are options, but again, once Sony makes those Sense controllers available on their own, that'll be a game changer for a lot of people. How much do you think those would cost, AJ?
Man, I'm hoping like 60, 80. What are the other ones, like $80 usually, $70?
What, like
I want to say
like DualSense controllers?
Yeah.
I want to say 70. Yeah, 70.
So I'm hoping these are no more than I'm hoping a max of 100. I could see like 120 or something.
100 for the set, yeah. Okay.
for the set. I mean, Move controllers they charge $100 for, dude. Move controllers. So yeah, I could see these being honestly. I could see them being like $150.
I mean, also, again, we talked about this prior to. I mean, we're still prior to launch, but we talked about this prior to launch. It's a lot of things are about perceived value. We used to talk about this constantly when I worked in the restaurant industry. Perceived value is so much more important than actual value. If you charge like $150 for a pair of Sense controllers, then the value of what you're getting in the box with PSVR2 suddenly seems so much greater, right? Here's what you're getting for your $550. You're getting a pair of $150 controllers with a $550 headset. That's not right. Do the math. $300 headset. $400 headset. Dude, I can't do math today. What's going on? This is bad news.
But yeah, you bring up a good point though. You know, luckily there are games that there are games that will support the DualSense as well, including Gran Turismo. If you don't have a wheel set up, you can. Well, that Gran Turismo doesn't even use Sense controllers, so yeah, you can play Gran Turismo while charging your controllers at the least. That only uses the DualSense and then the wheel, and then stuff like there's other options as well. But yeah, that's probably going to be my strategy for the first week. Is just switch to something that doesn't have to use the Sense controllers or isn't hampered by using something else.
I'm going to be bouncing around with tips here, folks. So if you don't hear yours read in the same order that they were submitted in, don't worry. I just want to stay on topic a little bit, and then we're going to kind of take some time before reading the next set anyway. Primal Sage just tipped with the 45 Donkey Kong countries and said, do you know if the two sources are playing the same game? Some games use rumble and haptic triggers more than other. I can confirm 100% that those people are playing different games. That is absolutely the case.
But they both likely take advantage of this technology and I want that. Like, I want every game to have the haptics and adaptive triggers. Even on the flat screen stuff, most games support it, but only a handful of games like really use it well. Like I always look at some of the best examples of using those features would be like Returnal. I love the way Returnal uses it, and then of course the Astro's Playroom was pretty amazing. But if you compare it to stuff like Elden Ring and that, like, I don't even think Elden Ring used any of these features. It was like the one little small disappointment about that. So yeah, no, I am totally fine with the trade-off. Even though I usually play I play in like 2-hour sessions usually. I don't know about you. On my own time, I play in like 2-hour sessions mostly on average.
17 hours every time.
And then I'll take like a 30-minute break. So I'll charge them and then come back, play 2 hours, can put them on the charger while I take a break, 10-minute, 15-minute break or something. And that's usually how I roll. Yeah.
Miles Dyer in the chat says, if they charge full in the time it takes me to go pee, 4 hours is fine. I don't know how long it takes you to go pee, Miles. Go time it and then come back to us and let us know. AJ, thankfully, this is not the only PSVR 2 news we got today. Even though you and I don't have review headsets, people who do are speaking here and there. So it was actually pretty cool. Nibble the Gamecat sent me a link to Reddit earlier, where apparently it turns out, shocker, I did not know this, but I'm really excited about it, that the headset haptics are directional, which means you can feel them in different places on your head. It's sort of something we were hoping for, but knowing that it came from a single motor, we weren't too confident about. Let me bring this up here. This was, like I said, this was from Reddit, and we can talk about this as it goes. So Solid Snake 427 was responding to somebody on Reddit and said it was directional. For example, in Song in the Smoke, when I was under a waterfall, the headset vibrated where the water was hitting my head. And I didn't feel any Mura. I don't know what feeling Mura is. Much, much better than on PSVR 1. If it's there, I didn't notice it at all. So we scroll up, and the response was, wow, that's so great to hear. I'm even more excited. So it seems to be 360. Thank you so much. Solid Snake 427 said, yeah, maybe not full 360 degrees, but you could feel at least a vibration coming from the right, front, or the left side of the headset. Yep, I stayed under the waterfall a few minutes just for this. Ha ha ha. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know who Solid Snake is, man, but apparently
You don't know who Solid Snake is.
I don't know. It's not. I don't know who the 427th iteration of Solid Snake is. So yeah, this Solid Snake in particular eludes me. Sorry, sirens on my end, but not a shocker. Response to this, AJ, is amazeballs.
Yeah, pretty cool considering, like you said, we know, as far as I know, it's like one rotary motor that's in the headset. So, if it can kind of at least simulate some directional use there, that's pretty cool. I know from the past, we heard from the Unreal Engine demo, I think our good buddy Stike pointed out that there was at least 25 levels of vibration. So a lot of different levels of vibration and having some directional stuff. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about this feature. I think it's pretty rad. And yeah, I hope it's something that is enjoyable enough for most people that they actually iterate on it in the future.
Agreed. I'm just copying and pasting some tips. AJ, we should probably take care of some of these tips before we move on with the show. So let's start with.
Sorry, I'm so bad. I don't ask for to subscribe. I don't ask for likes. I don't look at tips. I'm sorry. I'm just like, let's just talk about the games. I get so into it, man. There's so much to talk about. Go ahead, Brian. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I see. AJ's like, I don't care about you guys. I only care about what I want to talk about. And here I am. I'm like, I care about you guys.
A very selfish person.
Fucking selfish. It's shit. No, just kidding. Shrewy with the £5. That was fucking racist. Said, hi guys. Do you think there could be a PSVR2 title or two included with PlayStation Plus? Maybe some PSVR 1 upgrade games. Love the show and all your efforts. What do you think? PSVR 2 games included with Plus, possibly even PSVR 1 remasters.
That'd be great. Thumbs up.
Yeah, dude, I'm still hoping, since Sony hasn't really done their last push for PSVR 2, I'm really, really still hoping for that Plus collection. We got so many games on PS5 with part of that Plus collection. I mean, it was ridiculous. You didn't need to buy any PlayStation games for 2 years, maybe longer, if you were a Plus member. That was the most incredible value I'd ever seen in my life. So I'm hoping for that. Definitely hoping for that.
Yeah, it's inevitable games will come up on the PlayStation Plus collection. Now, if they do it with the day one or start including it with that premium thing, it's, we'll have to wait and see, but it's only a matter of time.
It is only a matter of time. Vitaphone, Vision Sound. With a $10 tip, says PlayStation Collection was announced right before PlayStation 5 launch. Any rumblings of something like a PSVR collection of first-party ports would be a good way to justify $1,100 and build hype and goodwill.
Everybody's really curious about these PlayStation Plus things.
I should have read both of those tips at the same time because I just copy and paste and don't read them. Again, I do think that Sony's got something to announce. Sony are the people behind the Song in the Smoke Rekindled edition. They're the ones funding that. They're the ones making that possible. So they care about getting better versions of PSVR 1 games onto PSVR 2. And so why wouldn't they be doing that for Blood and Truth, in Astrobot Rescue Mission, in The Persistence, and Wipeout Omega Collection? I mean, everybody's golf VR. Maybe with multiplayer.
It makes sense. Of all the games, of all the remasters we haven't heard of yet, it is the first party stuff, the Astrobot, the Blood and Truth and stuff like that. So they are, I don't know if you heard recently, you probably mentioned it 5 times already, but they are revamping, or they're refreshing the PlayStation Plus collection that's currently on the PS5 store, because when you have PlayStation Plus on PS5, it's got God of War 2018, Final Fantasy 15, Infamous Second Son.
AJ and I like to talk to each other during this show secretly.
But yeah, I think if they were to refresh it, that would be a great use and a great message to send. And plus we want these games back. So it's all these other people are doing upgrades. Where's yours, Sony? This would be a great place to be here's your new PlayStation Plus collection
with hundreds of dollars of PSVR 2 games.
And it's got Yeah, first party remasters.
Yeah. Our next tip comes to us from B. Smith. I'm going to guess his name is Brian. What up, Brian? How's it going? 2332 with the $10 tip says, I hope to see some good puzzler games. This is right up your alley, AJ. Come to PSVR2 this first year that makes use of the new tech and maybe some sequels to Static, The Room VR, and I Expect You to Die. Dude, puzzle games are great. They're a little slow for me these days. I grew up loving point and click adventure games, but man, when something like Red Matter or some of the games you mentioned, like The Room VR was one of my favorite games of that year. Just so atmospheric, dude. Absolutely, I am 100% down for a Static sequel as well. That was amazing.
Well, we all know that I am the resident puzzle lover here.
Resident
and there's
puzzles.
the ones that I'm most interested in. Obviously, I don't know if you count Moss Book 1 and 2 as puzzlers.
Definitely.
Okay, well, those are more like adventures to me, but they work. Tetris Effect is a good one that's coming out. The newer one that I'm very intrigued by is The Last Clockwinder. I am very intrigued by this because this has this mechanic that you can literally only do in VR, where you like copy your physical movements. And we've mentioned before that we played games like Transpose, and I absolutely love Transpose. I think Transpose was the first game to make me actually blow my mind, like puzzle game wise.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm playing a trailer of one that we definitely want to see a PSVR 2 version of. Hopefully people at White Lotus Interactive are watching, because goddamn, Zing the Land Beyond already looked amazing on PSVR 1, especially with the Pro. So if they could get this thing over to PSVR 2, whew, man, and get into the hands of a whole bunch of people who haven't played it before. This is such an incredible adventure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got
Definitely.
two more, and then we're going to get back to the news. 3 more, and then we're going to get back to 4 more, and then we're going to get back to the news. Starlight, the intergalactic game cat with the €2 says 4 hours is low, especially after battery degradation. So I'm still using my PS3 Move controllers, and those fuckers last like 10 hours each. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what magical battery they were using. So hopefully we have better luck with.
I get 8 hours out of my moves, maybe like 10 hours. Mm-hmm. And then the empty battery light signal comes on, and then I get another 8 hours after that.
There's 17 batteries in our Move controllers. That's why they cost $100. Alberto Mopam El Game Gato with the 65 Mexican Pathos says, "Sup, cats? Sup, yo? Been out of the loop lately. Happy for PSVR 2 day, the 22nd. But won't be able to get one till next year. Oh no, Alberto Mopam. I'm so sorry." He says, "Have there been any news on Dreams on PSVR 2? Dude, this is again, they have said, Media Molecule has said, oh, there's no plans right now. We're doing other shit. But this is again something that I think would be announced on Sony's stage, right? Even if the work has just begun on it. This is something that, again, first party Sony game, yet another game that hasn't been talked about for PSVR 2, which tells you everything you need to know. Sony has a lot more to say before this thing launches.
Yeah, I think, Dreams is probably one of the most underrated games I've ever seen in my life. And I think I would love to see Dreams get a revamped, they need to reboot, soft reboot Dreams.
Yeah.
And they need to add multiplayer into it. They need to add PSVR 2, a PS5 patch, and they need to try and do this without taking so long, which is, the game already took 10 years to come out. It came out in 2020 when, the PS4 player base had already peaked, and people were already starting to get ready for PS5. And so it just, it needs a bit of a remodeling and something that is a little bit, just better fitting for it to last longer. And they need to do it soon, because, it just seems like every day that player, the user base on that is getting smaller and smaller, and they need to get people inspired back to creating. I want to make stuff in Dreams, but I'm afraid to, that if I spend 6 months on it right now, that like nobody's even going to play it. So it's like I have no real reason or motivation to do it other than to like, for just my play it for myself to play it.
Yeah, man, I'm 100% with you. I mean, I wish I could say that's the reason I'm not creating things in dreams. I really, really want to learn that tool set and make something awesome. And I think it's worth noting, like if you look at the huge jump between what the PlayStation 4 in dreams, especially in VR, and the PlayStation 4 Pro were able to do in dreams, the jump was monumental. And then, of course, just with the added, the SSD and the increased memory of the PlayStation 5, even that jump was monumental. So if you actually created something that was specifically designed for the PlayStation 5 audience and the Sense controllers and the haptics and the headset and whatever else, like I think you get people out there making PSVR2 games at a record pace. Like Dreams kind of came out for PSVR 1. That patch came out, I don't want to say a little late, but maybe it was a little late, right? A little too late for people to get into it. But the prospect of making VR games just on a console with your new headset, it's one of the coolest things ever. And I think there's a lot of budding game designers out there that would absolutely love to do this, who didn't have a chance to play Dreams on PlayStation 4 or on PSVR 1.
Yeah, I will say, Dreams has some of the greatest VR experiences I've ever had on there. And, I still got that playlist with 65 games. Luckily, there's still a couple people out there holding it down. Shout out to our dude, Bad Robo82, who just collaborated with somebody else. And he made a full-length game that's a shooter called Machine Space Head Space VR, Machine Head VR. And
all these
it's
unnecessary
super cool.
spaces. PS space VR space.
No, shout out to Bad Robo. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be checking that out soon. I might stream it in the Discord or something, or stream it on the channel. Who knows? But yeah, legit. Some of the best, most mind blowing VR things I ever played were in Dreams. Like Hypercycle Arena, Jungle Bill. So many things.
So many games. So many. And I've forgotten more than I remember. There's so many good ones out there. And if you're curious, I made a bunch of lists. And AJ has a list. There's all sorts of ways to find great games to play in Dreams.
Yep.
Sorry. Okay, one more. Two more. Dutch DJ with the €2 says, smash the like button, people. Thanks, Dutch DJ. Somebody's going to do Miles' job when he's not here. Definitely love seeing episodes of Gamescast Live that have like 1,000 likes. It's not something we're used to. So thank you very much for tuning in and supporting the channel. And then, of course, Kill Artist 1, the Dreamweaver Gamecat with the $2 tip says, did Sony not do a God of War Super Bowl ad or did I miss it? It seems like, and I could be wrong on this, everybody was saying today in Discord that it didn't air in the US. And so you had to go to their Instagram account to see this, in no offense, pretty underwhelming PlayStation commercial that was targeted towards Kratos and the boy and in the Super Bowl itself. Yeah, it was. I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't watch the game for this.
They obviously didn't break the bank on this one.
I mean, just airing it cost what, $7 million?
This is what I expected, if anything at all. I mean, yeah, it was, as far as I saw it, they were just in like the tunnel of a thing, and they just like, there's like a referee or something, and then they just like, it's like snowing, and then they just like run out onto the field like Kratos and boy. Yeah. And that's about all I saw. Yeah, I mean, I was fully expecting them to carry on with their current marketing, which is all about how PlayStation 5s are now available, and you can actually go out and buy one. How crazy is that? You've been hearing about how difficult it is for 2 years. It just seemed like you're in front of the entire world, well, the entire North America, and it seemed like that would be the message to get out there. At least put it at the end of the commercial, but I don't know. Who am I? AJ? Who am I? Jackie Chan.
Hell yeah.
We said before, they're killing it with sales and stuff right now. So we can complain, we can talk about, we can nitpick their marketing all we want.
Yeah, we will.
It's meaningless.
Yeah,
they're
going to do
because great. They're killing it. They're slaying it right now.
Yeah. We're going to blast through a couple news stories real quick here because I already told you guys about these, but they are still worth noting. Over on gtplanet.net, it turns out that the Gran Turismo 7 patch is officially slated for February 21st. That means the day before you get your PSVR2 headset, you should already be downloading this thing in preparation for when that headset shows up, because it could be fucking huge, man. I mean, it might not be, but it could be. I don't know. Yeah.
I think it'll be. I could see like a 10 gig patch. I don't think it's going to be a huge patch. The game itself gets like big patches, so I mean, yeah, it could anyways.
Yeah.
But the VR itself, I don't know. I don't think it would take that much, really.
All right. Well, good. In that case, you know what? And I said we want to kind of blast through these real quick, but there was an interesting comment that I got on a video today from MJ Carpenter. So if you're watching MJ Carpenter, what's going on? Welcome to the show. He says, I might be in a small minority, but I hope Gran Turismo 7 allows for a behind-the-car third-person cam in VR, as I tend to get claustrophobic in the small cabins and not enjoy VR racers because it sounds like it's easily the best VR racing game of all time. I've actually heard this from quite a few people, AJ, that they don't want to be in the interior of the car, that they'd rather do a traditional chase cam. And what do you think the likelihood of this happening is?
I could definitely see it happening, but yeah, it's not something I really, want or care about, but options, like I'm all for options. So if that's what it takes to get some other people, if that's the way some people prefer to play it, yeah, I got nothing against that. Absolutely, I support that.
Yeah, I totally agree, obviously. And I will say that considering that Drive Club gave us that option, and that was a PSVR 1 launch title, and I believe
Wipeout,
Gran Turismo Sport, Wipeout, all these gave us that option. And so I can't imagine why they would remove something that people actually enjoy and use for no reason whatsoever. More sirens on my end. The next story comes to us from Drool, developer Drool, who makes Thumper. We get the official word today that the $20 game Thumper will be charging us a $5 upgrade if you already own the PSVR 1 version and you want to get it on PSVR 2. The obvious question, AJ, is this the right amount of money for this upgrade?
Hell yeah, this is a big W for them, man. They spent some work on it. They did some work on it, and it's a really, really old game. The reason I say that, I think this is great. I think $5 is an awesome upgrade price for this. And really the big reason is because this game has been free. And even to those people who got it for free in April of 2021 during the Play at Home initiative or on PlayStation Plus, even those people can just are included with the $5 upgrade.
Yep.
So yeah, I think this is awesome.
Nice. Yeah, it's so funny. Like we've gone on so many tangents, so many rants, we had entire shows dedicated to, what do developers owe us? What's the right amount for an upgrade charge? And so many developers have said, hey, we're not going to charge you anything, mostly because we're assuming they are going to focus on the new gamers, the people who've never owned PSVR 1 or Quest 2 before, or PC VR. This is going to be their first time getting in, or they just didn't buy the games last gen. Like there's going to be a whole audience of those people. And so they're going to make their money. Like they're going to sell their game. They upgraded their game and they get to sell it for the same price and then make their money, despite the fact that it didn't cost as much to make this time around. And we're very happy for them. But then when enhanced games came around, it was like, well, it's going to be $10 for Res Infinite and $10 for Tetris Effect. A lot of people out there were like, really? Does that seem necessary? And so, but for me, when I heard the $5 price tag, and I understand both sides of it. Trust me, I totally understand both sides of it. But when I heard the $5 price tag for Thumper, I was like, yep, that's fine. I spend $5 on stupid shit all the time. And I'd rather put my $5 towards something that's not stupid and that I'm actually going to enjoy and be really blown away by. But I want to see in the chat, like, does even a $5 charge irritate you? Or are you more than happy to give Drool your $5? I hope that's the case, but I don't want to speak for anybody.
Let me make this very clear, Brian. It is a game by game basis. Mm-hmm. What may work as a $5 upgrade or a $10 upgrade for one game does not work for every single game. So that's I think that's how we should really approach this. That's what I've been saying, I think, since 2019 or 2020 when PS4 was migrating to PS5.
Yeah.
Some developers, people were like, are there going to be paid upgrades? Are there going to be free upgrades? We were like, look at the PS5 as the example. Like some games do it, some games don't.
Yeah.
Some games are free, some games charge, some you got to get the deluxe edition. Everybody's going to be different. We have to judge them individually. I don't think there's like one shoe that fits them all here.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of agree. But if we do a game by game basis, I'm really curious to know, like, what standards are we using? Because, you know, it seems like Saints and Sinners Chapter 1, which is a huge game and one of the best games of last generation, will be getting a free upgrade for PSVR 2. If anything, you'd be like, wow, there's a lot of fucking people that work over there. That's a massive game. There's a lot of textures to improve. There's a lot of things to take care of. There's a lot of things. But by comparison, Thumper is a much smaller game with a lot less assets to bring over to PSVR 2. And so now I get a little bit confused. I'm like, if we're doing it by game basis, you'd think Thumper would be one of the ones that was free, and Saints and Sinners would charge.
Not necessarily, because of the size of the studio, and
More
like
people
Thumper
to pay,
is very
AJ.
much.
Way more people to pay.
Yeah. Well, yes, but also, yeah. I don't know.
No, trust me, man. I
They
get
get
it.
funding from Sony
Yeah.
or funding from some other sources, investors, things like that. Little, two people in their garage don't necessarily have investors and support that way. So
Right.
this is how they support themselves.
Right.
So again, game by game basis.
And obviously, yeah, we don't know what the sales for Thumper were, right? If it sold 1 million copies, then I'd be like, I don't know, guys. But if they sold 100,000, and here they are just being like, oh man, if like even a third of those people gave us $5, I'd be like, all right, especially if it's a difference, more sirens on mine, especially if it's a difference between like a studio surviving and not surviving. Like we obviously want to support developers. We want to make sure that artists get paid, that everyone is able to survive next gen and make more games, because that's what we need, man. As many games as possible.
Yeah.
We get 2 tips to take care of before our next news story. And the first one comes to us from Vandal VR with a $20 tip. Says PSVR 2 checklist. Pre-order PSVR 2. Check. Build up sick days to miss work. Check. Tornado gets in front of the monitor so I can't see the rest of the... Oh, here we go. Oh, excuse me. Hold on, almost there. Extra funds put back for pizza. Check. Any chance at everyone... This is ridiculous. There's a tail just everywhere I want to look. Any chance of everyone getting together for a list of top PSVR games of all time as a sunset salute to the OG PSVR? To answer the last part of that question, Vandal, is there any chance of all of us getting together to say goodbye to PSVR 1? I will say that I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm going to do my absolute best to get everyone together here as a celebration on launch day itself, right? Because like we're going to be celebrating so hard when the launch day gets here. Be so excited. Hopefully all of us will have our PSVR 2 headsets. Hopefully we'll all have a chance to play, and then we can hang out on Gamescast, just share our excitement with you guys, and you guys can share your excitement with us, of course. Like it's all this big community thing. Getting us all together prior to that to give a salute to the OG PSVR 1 is less likely, and I would like to say that this channel over the last 6 years has become an homage to PSVR 1, and that hopefully we can look back and kind of enjoy all these different moments that we had together. So it's like the PSVR 1 museum, just like thousands of hours of PSVR 1 content. So I hope that will suffice during these... during this time where we don't have a lot of time to be able to do that.
Yep.
That was a long answer, AJ.
It was.
Yeah.
But you answered it.
And then finally, Rob Bateman with the £5 says, Robbie B, the English Gamecat here, chaps. Glad to see the channel is doing well. Hyped about PSVR 2. Love to you all and our bearded friend in the sky.
Love to you, Robbie B. Good to see you, homie.
Hell yeah. It's good to see you. All right, man. Did you see the news that this old Dreamcast game called Cosmic Smash is coming out for PSVR 2 with a new, slightly altered name called C Smash VRS?
I did, and yeah, was not expecting this one.
Okay, well, I'm gonna bring up the trailer, man, because I really want to make sure that everybody can see it if they haven't already. That's not it right there. That's not it at all. That's it. So this is actually by Rapid Eye Movers and Wolf and Wood. I'm not familiar with Rapid Eye Movers as a team, but Wolf and Wood is obviously the team behind the Exodus Legion VR, Chair in the Room Greenwater, Hotel R&R, and so they're playing a big part in this. It looks like, and the description leads me to believe, that this is going to be the first Spark-like game that we get on PSVR2.
That was my first thought as well. I was like, because I mean, there's a lot of people that love Spark and, that kind of like racquetball gameplay in VR, which I think is a good fit for it. And yeah, but of course, this takes an old Sega IP and kind of has that res look to it a little bit. Did you ever play the original one? Because I have never heard of this game before.
Dude, that's the crazy thing, right? It seems like before this got announced today, people already knew what it was going to be. Because there's a lot of people out there who saw the teases for this leading up to it. And were like, oh, it's obviously this Cosmic Smash game. And so I was like, I don't remember this in the slightest. I was a big Dreamcast fan. I got in a little late, like when you could buy a Dreamcast for super, super cheap. Like after PlayStation 2 had already dominated. And so I picked up a super cheap Dreamcast with a ton of super cheap games. And I loved collecting for that and playing Zombie Revenge and House of the Dead and Illbleed. I mean, there's so many great games for Dreamcast in its very, very short 2-year life. But somehow, as somebody who loves weird games that like no one else has ever heard of, never heard of this one. Just never heard of this one.
Yeah. I mean, even when what was the dancing game?
Space Channel 5.
Space Channel 5. I'd like kind of heard of that. I think. There was a lot of I never had a Dreamcast. I had a friend that had one, so. As you can imagine, I only really knew like a lot of the popular ones, the popular ones, Sonic Adventure, and what was that awesome 3D fighting game? Why can't I remember the name right now?
You don't mean Die Hard Arcade?
No, the 3D fighder game where
Fighting
there's like
Vipers?
stuff around. No,
Oh my God,
the fighting game. It's like top-down view, multiplayer, 3D fighter.
Wait, top-down view?
Yeah,
okay.
like a top-down view.
You're talking about something different than I was. I was thinking you said fighting game, and I was like,
Stone Gem. Somebody says, something stone. I just Anyways, what I do know about what I do love about Sega games in general is that they do have usually pretty fun gameplay. So Power Stone, thank you.
God, Power Stone,
man.
Yeah, there's two of those.
Yeah.
Capcom. Jesus, Power Stone.
I'm sorry. I spent like 5 minutes trying to.
No, you were right. It was you said fighting game, and nope. I was stuck on one-on-one fighting games.
Anyways, but yeah, Sega games have really good gameplay and stuff. I think this is a cool concept. I will give this a try and then let you know. I see. And what I hope, though, is that they don't do what Space Channel 5 did. Mm-hmm. Take an old IP and then, make it a 45-minute game or experience and then charge $40 for it. Yeah. I don't want to see the Sega IPs used and abused like that. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm cautiously approaching this one with some caution, but doesn't scream next gen. Kind of looks more like a Quest game to me, but give it a try.
Luckily, single player, co-op, and versus all included, which is good. And if you're not sure about it, and I think if you've watched this trailer, you have a right not to be sure about it. There's going to be a demo coming out on March 23rd.
Sweet.
And so we'll be able to try it out. I don't think this game is the kind of game you can make a good trailer for, based on the trailer that we've seen today. Because this trailer is rough, dude. This is rough. Like, and it made me sad because I was like, these developers probably put a lot of work into it, and then there's like this really bland outer space environment, and then you get into the actual arena where you're playing this racquetball type game, and it's even more bland. And so I just really, really hope this translates well to the headset, and that it's really fun to play, because this is a bad look at the game. and then I saw it on the actual official PlayStation YouTube channel as well, and I was like, this is not how this game should be advertised. Like this is rough.
Yeah. It's just, when you buy a $550 headset, you don't buy it for something like this.
Right. You hope that this...
It's going to take us a while to get over that initial hump of like, we want next gen AAA, blah, and we're going to need some games like this in between. But
yeah,
right now it's just like,
it's just shocking. It's just shocking that they didn't show, they showed like 3 seconds of actual gameplay. Right. Like, it's so strange that they did it this way. But
anyways, I think we spent enough time on this one.
We've definitely spent enough time on this one. We want to. We've got, I think, one news story here. Yes, that's right. We got one news story before getting to our main topic of the week, and that is basically just want to give a shout out to Reggie Strange over at Strange Game Studios, who passed certification. I got approved to be a PSVR2 launch title with his game Awesome Asteroids. Did you have a chance to see the footage of this game, AJ?
Nope. I've seen like 2 seconds of it, I think.
All
maybe.
Right. Well, I gotta tell you, looks fun. Reggie's kind of on this kick of making VR versions of classic arcade games, and he just kind of did his lunar lander game, which is Dropship Commander, which I was definitely very mixed on. I was like, oh, it presents a good challenge. I was like, but do I want to play it? And I was torn while I was playing. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. But this game is obviously an update of the original Atari 8-bit Asteroids. And man, if you can capture some sense of speed in this thing, and if the upgrade system where you upgrade your ship and get missiles and defend your base, if all of this comes together, I think this could be a winner here. And I think it's important that we mention that this is supposed to be very much a budget title. I forget how much he said it's going to be. I think he says like $5 or $6. Please correct me in the chat, Reggie, if you happen to be here.
Yeah, it's fine. Like a little bit of deja vu here. I feel like we went from talking about the first game, the C Smash, and then going to this. I don't know.
All right,
looks all right. Excited for D-Day.
Super
excited about D-Day.
D-Day Enhanced is going to be fucking legit, man. It's going to be the biggest multiplayer game in VR that I've ever played in my entire life. It's going to be great. And that brings us to our big story of the day. I don't know if you saw, I feel like I introduce every single story the exact same way, AJ. I'm like, AJ, I don't know if you saw this, as if we didn't talk before the show. So maybe you need to come up with some better segues. But over on insidergaming.com, and now keep in mind that this is a site that is made up of very reliable leakers. So when they say things like rumor, you know that it's pretty legit. Nothing really to worry about here. So their story is that this exclusive story, they're saying Ubisoft is already discussing a sequel for Assassin's Creed Nexus, but there's more to it than that, obviously. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit and read the story. I got to bring it up on my actual screen now so I can see it. This is by Tom Henderson. The story came out February 10th. Jeez, I missed this somehow. He says, it might seem somewhat bizarre, but insider gaming sources have revealed that Ubisoft is already internally discussing a sequel to its Assassin's Creed VR project called Nexus. Not much information on Assassin's Creed Nexus has been released by Ubisoft apart from its initial announcement. But what we do know is that the game is slated to be an Oculus exclusive. However, in recent weeks, Insider Gaming understands that the deal has apparently been terminated amid the ongoing budget cuts at Meta. It's understood that Ubisoft can now publish across any VR platform that desires, but it likely won't due to the deal being cut so late into the game's development cycle. And he says, what's interesting about the ordeal is that Ubisoft is anticipating Nexus to do extremely well for a VR title, with initial discussions already beginning for Nexus 2. He says, understandably, it's still early days, but this would imply that Ubisoft aims to release the sequel across multiple VR headsets in the future. So, quite a lot of information to unpack here, AJ. This is one of those games that has been talked about a lot. We've never seen any gameplay from, and really nothing concrete other than leaks as to exactly how it would play out. But But with Ubisoft struggling and with Meta struggling, it's not terribly surprising that this all kind of broke down and fell apart in their faces. Do you think, though, it's too late to get a port of this on PSVR 2?
It's a tricky one because first of all, I have a friend who works at Ubisoft and was working on
Call
the
him
VR
up.
game, and he was
Get him on
talking
the
about.
show.
I'll call him right now.
All right.
No, he was. I remember he was talking about just how hard it was to take an IP like this and to crush it down onto the Quest to make it like workable. And so I think the issue started from there. There's other issues going on at Ubisoft, obviously, and then you've got the issues going on at Meta. So this is the perfect storm for something like this to happen, where they need to maybe open it up, make it multi-platform, and the sequel thing makes sense. I mean, the information I'm hearing here lines up with a lot of what I know goes on behind the scenes, because I think a sequel does seem, pretty. If this gets launched in one way or another, yeah, I mean that would probably dictate a lot of this. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because I don't know, man. The thing is they obviously would have like a contract with, Meta. This was an exclusive, right? So that would complicate things. But if it's been broken, then yeah, that's great. Regardless of, a lot of things, this game would sell a lot of headsets probably, or at least have a lot. It'd probably do pretty well just for being the Assassin's Creed IP alone. It would sell a lot. Yeah. So I think that would be enough to get a sequel made.
I mean, I fully agree. I think so many people would like to be Ezio or one of the other characters of Assassin's Creed in first person. And maybe use some of those stride mechanics of parkour to just kind of get around and to be able to like climb really, really high up and see the entire area and unlock parts of the map. But I think it's really strange. This was something I was really excited about when I heard it, because I was like, oh, there's a potential. Like, again, we've been seeing all sorts of Quest games and PC VR games and whatever else announcing their PSVR 2 ports. And so these are things I'm excited about. I want PSVR 2 to be a place where you can play everything, where you can play Quest ports, where you can play PC VR ports right alongside of PlayStation VR 2 exclusive games that were built for PSVR 2. I want it to be a place where you can play everything. But that's not what everyone else is saying. I just saw somebody in the chat. His name is Wait What, which is a great name. He says, if it's a Quest port, it won't be the Assassin's Creed we want anyway. But yet, just in response to that, the Horizon game that we're getting at the launch of PSVR 2 isn't the Horizon game that people wanted or would have wanted, but it might be awesome regardless. And so for me, it would just be really strange to be like, well, fuck this game, because it originated on the Quest, and it's not a full-fledged open world Assassin's Creed game. If it was a linear Assassin's Creed game with some of the same mechanics, I think I'd be pretty excited to play it.
Well, I don't know. I try to look at some. Ubisoft has actually done a pretty good job with their VR titles. I mean, you look at what they've made: Eagle Flight. What else they make? Eagle Flight, Star Trek Bridge Crew, Werewolves Within, yep. And then I was going to say Space Junkies. I thought there was something else too.
I think those are the four.
Threw me up. But yeah, I mean, they've shown that they're not afraid to put some money behind some of their VR games. So, and then this is Assassin's Creed. This is probably their biggest IP, one of their biggest IPs, but maybe even their biggest. I don't know what their numbers are like, but yeah. So I don't think they would take this lightly. I don't think they would water this down too much. They don't. The biggest compromises here from a game would be coming from having to make it work on the Quest. That's kind of where things could get stripped down. But I don't know. I think if it were to come to multi-platforms, maybe it would open up a little bit, or maybe a sequel, like you said.
Yeah. I mean, Jalen Gaines in the chat said, anytime I hear a game is also coming to Quest, I immediately lose interest because it's fear they'll have to dumb it down with the graphics all around for it to work on Quest. That's my fear with Behemoth. Also, my fear for Behemoth. Behemoth, especially that cinematic trailer, looks so good, right? I was just like, oh, I want it to look like this, or I mean, as close to that as possible. It's not going to look exactly like that, but it could look really damn close. And so, yeah, and knowing that it's going to run on Quest 2 as well is like definitely lowers my expectations quite a bit. So I'm with you guys, but it doesn't mean I don't want the game. It means I still want to play it. I still want to see what it's all about. I still want to get. And the best thing is that if Behemoth is coming to PSVR 2, and if Assassin's Creed comes to PSVR 2, then we're going to get the best version of it possible, right? The Pavlov devs were talking last week about how they're getting better performance out of PSVR 2 on PlayStation 5 than even top-end PC games by like 10%. Yeah. And not everyone owns a top-end PC.
Yeah.
And so it's I think for a while, the PSVR 2 is going to be the place to play VR games, like for quite a while. Even once the competition starts really heating up. So I just want every game to be brought over here so that we can play it. And I do think that a lot of developers like Ubisoft, AJ, you said they don't have a problem putting money behind their VR games. I agree. And I think that if they put a little extra money behind the PSVR 2 version of Assassin's Creed and made it actually look like something that belongs on PSVR 2 exclusively, I think they're a team that could do that.
Yeah, I would much rather prefer a sequel be made. I would much rather them just make a sequel, and if we got to start small with a crunch down Assassin's Creed game, it's fine. It would still do really well again because it's the Assassin's Creed IP. Right. I mean, this and Far Cry are probably their two biggest IPs, but it would probably do really, really well, and then that would pave the way for a future sequel. So I hope it's true because It would be awesome. I'll take the smaller one, the compromised one first to get the bigger one later.
100%. If that's in the cards, then 100%. I'm totally down with that. And yeah, it will sell. It absolutely will. Like even if it's got bad reviews, I think it'll sell.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
On name alone, we've seen so many bad games rise to the top of VR sales charts over the years. We're like, does anybody read reviews? And the answer is no. Like, people generally don't. Like, a lot of the very well-informed gamers do. But I think you'd be surprised at just how small of a percentage of the gaming populace are the well-informed gamers. So this is going to sell great no matter what, and I think Ubisoft knows that. So hopefully they don't phone it in because of it. Because I do think this could be, as they saw on the flat screen, this could be a long-running series in VR as well.
Yeah. You've got outlets that are like the frames per second and the HDR and this and that, and then there's people that are just like, look, I just want to play a fucking game in VR and I just want to play Assassin's Creed in VR. It's that's it. That alone will be satisfying enough. They don't care about the length of the game, the quality of the game and stuff, and that's the majority audience.
Yeah. Berbercat in the chat says, if you can run Assassin's Creed on a PS3, you can easily run it on a PSVR 2. In all fairness, yeah, I mean, if Ubisoft was willing to put in the work and give us a full-fledged Assassin's Creed game, open world, dude, that I would take that in a heartbeat. That would be amazing. I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game since Black Flag, and I still consider that one of the best games of that generation. I love that shit. And I know I'm in the minority. I know that real Assassin's Creed fans are like, no, Brian, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not one of the best games, but it was one of my favorites, for sure. Hey, Jay.
What up, dude?
Unintended Studios with the $5 tip says, above or below 35%, we see that PSVR release of White Day with PSVR 2. I don't know if you're familiar with White Day. I want to say the subtitle of it's a labyrinth named School. But I bought this because I love horror games. And the developers were definitely very much saying, hey, we're bringing this game to PS4 and there's going to be a PSVR version. We didn't know if it was going to be an experience or what the deal was. But this, like a lot of PSVR games, sort of just vanished into vaporware. Do you think we're gonna see any of these games like White Day or Visage or I don't know, man. There's probably a list of like There's probably a list of like 100 PSVR games that just kind of went MIA. Do you think PSVR 2 will give us a chance to see some of those titles, or do you think if we haven't seen them in the last 3 or 4 years, we're probably just not going to see them at all?
Short answer, no. Slightly longer answer would be that if they made a PS5 release and it was successful and gained some momentum again, part of me doesn't even care. Well, first of all, I don't even know what's it called?
White Day?
White Day. I don't know what White Day is, so I'm not judging it or anything. But stuff like Visage and stuff, we're getting other things. We're getting stuff like Madison, which is, a very popular game. The exciting thing here, and I've said this before, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but the exciting thing here is that there are games, new IPs, brand new games and IPs coming out, like Atomic Heart, like the game that's being made by the BioShock people. There's System Shock 2 remake being made. There's lots of more exciting things to me personally, just because, I don't know, maybe I'm in my own bubble, but to me, there's more exciting potential.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is the exact same response that I had to the last news story, and that's I want everything. Like, if this developer is just like, oh man, it was so hard to bring things over to PSVR 1 because of the limitations of the original PS4, and because it wasn't designed for VR and all of this and whatever. This is their chance. Nothing against Madison, but I would rather have Visage in VR. I think Visage is just the better game, and so just because these games are a few years old doesn't mean that they're any less good in terms of quality. And I think Visage could definitely scare the fuck out of us. So I really do want that.
I tried to give some context there that I don't know much about these games, so.
I just want to know.
I would take Alien.
I'm so
greedy. I would take Alien Isolation. Yep.
Alien Isolation, BioShock. Yes, let's do it. Amnesia, yep. Dark Descent.
But I also am with a lot of people. I've always said I'm part of the problem because I was the people that said I was saying I want Final Fantasy VII remake. I want Crash Bandicoot remake. I want Jet Moto remake. So please make it happen. But at the same time, I also want new IPs, new games, fresh ideas. As well. It's important to get those two.
Absolutely. And the greatest thing about what you just said, AJ, is that we are living in the greatest time of video game history ever because there are more developers than ever. It is easier than ever for a single person dev team to make an open world game and bring it to VR. This was never possible years ago. And so we live in this time where we get to kind of have our cake and eat it too. We get to have the best of all worlds. We get to get remakes. We get to get brand new IPs. We get to get AAA games. We get to get independent games. And dude, what a great time for PSVR 2 to come out. Just when when more people than ever are making games and more people than ever care about VR, it's gonna be fucking awesome.
We have a great launch 9 days from now.
That can't be right. 9 days.
We have a great launch. Look at the timer.
Yeah.
We have a great launch that's only 9 days away with some amazing games.
Yeah.
Both AAA and indie quality games. Just imagine what shit's going to look like in a year or two. And the announcements we'll be getting around that time. And the games coming around that time and after that. Get ready, man. Get ready.
I'm ready.
Jet Moto.
Dude, I've been ready.
Jet Moto's happening.
I've been ready for years. I've been ready for so many years. This is going to be literally the best. I've said it. This is the thing I've been waiting for my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is me too. Well, not me too. Not my entire life, but a very, 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 very long time.
It's going to be the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, AJ. I'm never getting married. I'm never having kids. So this is it, man. If this thing fails to impress, I'm done. We're going to call it a day. We're going to call it a white day.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
AJ, cats. Other people in the room. Tornado. How do you guys feel about playing some 20 questions?
It's time.
Sweet. I'm so excited. If you guys don't know, then this is how this game's played. AJ has a PSVR game in that head of his, underneath that beanie, somewhere deep, deep, deep in the recesses of the darkness. And it's up to you guys and me to ask 20 yes or no questions and figure out what game this is. The real problem is we only have 6 minutes to do it in. So I'm going to put the timer up on the clock up on the counter, the way that Jeremy likes it. I forget how that goes, but we're going to do it anyway. AJ, you have a game picked out?
I do. I really wanted to go some deep cuts on you here. But did I, is the question.
On your mark, it does go. AJ, first question, is this a deep cut?
No, it's not a deep cut.
Took care of that real fast. All right.
Now you know. The truth is out.
did this game this game developer make more than one PSVR game?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Has this game?
Oh wait. Developer. Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Has this game been confirmed to be coming to PSVR 2?
Negative.
Uh-oh. All right. Scott Jessico, PSN Harry Fell, the PSVR Gamecat for life. I blame you for all the time you just took up. He says, does it have dinosaurs, cowboys, dragons, robots, or ninjas in the game?
It has 2, maybe 3 of those.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Scott Jessica, this game is all you, man. So it's got 2 or 3 of either dinosaurs, cowboys, dragons, robots, or ninjas. Holy crap. Does this game have full locomotion?
Yes, that's 5.
Okay. Man, I don't even know. Dinos, robots. I gotta note this so I know. Cowboys. Wait, what says? Is it Power Stone? Ninjas or dragons? Okay.
I wish it was Power Stone.
Yeah, right. I wish we had that. Okay. It can't be Skyrim, Ian, because Bethesda made other games. Do you play as a human?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Oh boy.
I think you're a human.
Okay.
Human-ish. At the very least.
Okay. Man, let's go with Dead Ringer. It says, is there flying in this game?
I don't know. I want to say no. But there could be like a little bit here and there, I think. Or I could be forgetting something.
Okay. Magic, it can't be raw data because that's Servios. They made other PSVR games. Time Carnage, no. Tatum, it can't be because we have full locomotion. Thank you, Jason Voorhees, for the sirens on my end, because I did indeed have sirens on my end.
Apparently they did make another VR game.
Oh, Jesus.
But you wouldn't really know that. I mean, I don't think that's a good thing to go by. I would assume that they didn't make another game because most people are probably not going to know that.
Wow. Okay. Was this game in the launch window for PSVR 1? Let's call the launch window the first 3 months.
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Okay.
This game.
Okay, let's get Shade's question out of the way. Is this by any chance made by Mixed Realms?
No,
Okay.
It is not made by Mixed Realms.
Not Sirento. Good guess though. Is there melee combat in this game?
There's a little bit of melee combat in this game.
A little bit of melee combat.
Very little.
Very little. Is this game mostly about shooting?
That was 10, and this is 11. And yes, this game is mostly about shooting.
Okay. Would you consider this a wave shooter in any way, shape, or form?
Nope.
Okay, not a wave shooter in any way, shape, or form. But a lot of shooting, full locomotion. This developer's made one other game, but you wouldn't know it, so that's probably not going to help us. Not a deep cut, so it's a game we know. Is this a top 25 game? Something that we would have been in the top 25 at any point during the lifespan?
Yes, it has definitely been on the top 25 before.
Okay.
That is 13.
It can't be Mortal Blitz, Jason, because that has node-to-node teleportation. The Walker Head, no movement. Robert the Gamecast says, is this shooting mostly done at night?
No, it's not mostly done at night.
Okay. Is this part of a known video game IP?
This is part of a known video game IP. This is 15.
Would you call the graphics in this cell shaded by any chance? Cell shaded like maybe?
Cell shaded like maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's
a certain style to them, that specific style that they have said that this is.
Is this would a character named Tiny Tina make an appearance in this game by any chance?
Never heard of that. I'm just kidding. There is a character named Tiny Tina in this game.
Could this by any chance, AJ, be Borderlands 2 VR?
This game is Borderlands 2 VR with 18, cutting it close, man.
Listen, I don't know who said it first out there. I don't know who said it first, but I did see Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry. That he's the first one who I saw did Borderlands, but there very well could have been somebody before him.
Did Gearbox make Penn and Teller VR? Because apparently
they
did.
They published it, I think.
Okay.
I mean they could have made it too, man. I have no idea, but I would go with published before anything else.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, let me just type in Penn and Teller. What was that game called? Penn and Teller.
It's something
like
you.
F-U-U-U-U.
That's awful.
F-U-U-U, blah, blah, blah. That's what it's called. I'm not swearing.
Oh, no, don't swear, AJ. By all means, don't swear. There might be children present.
Gearbox Publishing. This is so annoying.
That's okay. You do that because I got to make sure that I get all these tips here.
It's developed by Gearbox Publishing.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm not kidding.
Okay.
So, and then when I look at Borderlands 2, it's developed by 2K?
Mm-hmm.
Not Gearbox? Wait, I'm so confused.
Did Gearbox publish it?
No, 2K published it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe questions for another time.
At least you got it. So I didn't completely get away with cheating here.
Rogue TR says, Brian overcame the AJ-ness to claim victory. Yes, I did.
That is true.
With the help of all you cats in the chat. Couldn't have done it without you.
Well done. Well done. Despite my cheating. I'll get you next time, Gadget.
And your little dog, too. Is that what, did he say that too?
I think that was how.
Because I know I'm confusing different villains from the 80s.
there's like, yeah, no, because there's like Inspector Gadget, there's like Smurfs.
Yeah. Why? Right. I don't know. And your little dog too. No, that's the Wizard of Oz. I'll get you. And your little dog too. Oh my God, dude, that's not even the 80s. That's like the 40s. Way off. Wow. Amazing. Holy crap, I don't even know what we're gonna say. No, Inspector Gadget, like all you ever saw of like Dr. Claw was like his shoulder down to his metal hand, right? And you just see him from behind his office chair and he'd just be petting Mad Cat and just like, demanding things from his from his.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I made a reference.
Oh, this is all my fault. But for me, this is the highlight of the show. Fuck everything.
This is how you remember things.
Yeah, exactly. Let's. I just want to tackle a couple more tips here, AJ, before we get a move on. And the first one comes from Ryan Barron. $5 tip says Zen Studios has Pinball FX listed on PlayStation Network for wishlist /follow for PS4 and PS5. No word of a PSVR 1 or PSVR 2 support. Would you love to see pinball in VR again?
Yes, absolutely. I love the pinball games. No, but very, very good game.
Top 25.
Maybe if it had move controller support and lets you press the little buttons on the side.
Like Sense controller support?
Yeah, or if it gets sense controller support with little finger touch capacitor button pressing orbs.
I'll give you finger touch capacitors.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Valentine's Day is tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day, cats.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you sexy, sexy cats out there.
Dude, I am the worst boyfriend of all time.
Believable.
Yeah, facts. We also got Not Sure Brondo with the $5 tip says, just because your whole team is awesome. Thank you. Tornado appreciates that.
Brondo, it's what plants crave. That's a good reference. You get that one?
No, wait, it's what plants, what?
Don't worry about it. Move on. Happy Valentine's Day, cats. I love you. But not as much as I love
plants
PSVR2.
crave. It's not idiocracy, is it?
It is.
Oh, nice.
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay, see, I got that part, not the first part. Mugo_K with a $10 tip says, I'm all in. Astrobot hasn't missed showcasing new Sony tech since his debut. Asobi normally has access to new tech while it's in prototype stages. Looking forward to Astro's Playroom VR on launch day. Is that what you think? If we get an Astro game at launch for PSVR 2, what do you think it'll be?
Well, it'd probably be a remaster, and I'd both be simultaneously super happy and really pissed off that they didn't mention it sooner.
What?
Yes! Absolutely. You should be telling people about this a long time ago, not just wait till
Oh my God.
last second.
You just can't make some people happy. It's like, we're giving you everything you wanted, and we just told you,
You
like
don't
a couple,
know.
2 months later.
You don't play with people's emotions like that, Brian. That's what that's about.
You're all puppets, AJ. And Sony's pulling the strings.
It's so funny because in our Discord call, you're above me doing that. You're above me doing that, so it looks here. I gotta get a screenshot of this. Hold on, don't move for a second.
AJ, move your arms with me.
Okay. Well, I can't take a snippet and do that at the same time.
Come on.
So,
Come on, this would be hilarious. I'm the puppet master, AJ. No, you had to move the other one too. Come on.
I think I got it close.
Really
I'll post this.
not playing
I'll
along
post
here.
this in the Discord.
Okay.
I'll post this in the Discord.
Okay.
It's perfect. Let's go into the Discord. Join our Discord. Come hang out.
That's
it's
right.
the best fucking place ever. I spent so much time in there.
Way too much time. We don't get anything done because of Discord. That's really the biggest problem. It's a great place to hang out. We spend too much time there. Hold on. What were we talking about? Oh, Astro. Yeah. I hope, dude. I honestly really, really hope. There's so many cool features, and you saw. I mean, the most recent PSVR 2 advertisement from Sony was about innovative features. Right. That was the entire video, and so Astro would be perfect for this. It's one thing to show somebody touching a controller or something pulsing on a headset, but it's another thing to get in there and feel it for yourself. I still to this day have not felt my DualSense respond in all sorts of cool ways the way that Astrobot showed me that it could on day one. And so I don't care if it's an hour-long little experience. I would like him to be there for launch just to kind of walk me through and say, now check this out, now do this, and look how amazing all of these little things feel. So I hope we get that.
I wouldn't mind a tech demo thingy, but what we all really want is a sequel, a fully fledged sequel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we really want.
To one of the best VR games ever made.
Luckily, Team Asobi's bigger than they've ever been. When Japan Studio kind of got shuttered, a lot of the people from those teams got consolidated into Asobi team, and so we've got a lot of people over there, and I think it's going to be great. J Meow with a $2 tip says classic AJ cheating. Yeah, for real. Then we got Wonder Rob in the chat with $5 tip says Gamecats.
It really hurts. It really hurts coming from J Meow, let me tell you.
Gamecats are my peer group, like my post-college friends who understood how bipolar disorder kept me from them in spite of my love. If anyone understands BPD, that's actually BPD is not the abbreviation for bipolar disorder. That's borderline personality disorder. Bipolar disorder, if anyone understands that, that's me. So Wonder Rob, have no fear. Hakuna Matata. There's a lot of love in this community. It's one of the best communities I've ever seen, and I'm just thrilled that I'm a part of it. So thank you guys for having me. Appreciate you. AJ, did you get closer to the camera? Are you going to give people a kiss? And for Valentine's Day, it looks.
Valentine's Day, baby.
Hold
Valentine's Day hug.
Hold on.
For all those who don't have a
Hold on.
Valentine's,
I'm coming.
a big Valentine's hug from yours truly. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, wait. Oh, I got to be careful. I'll tell you why after the show. It just almost happened.
Don't step on
but
rock.
Here's a big old beard AJ hug.
He's like, I got to be careful. I'm not wearing any pants, and you almost saw that.
Right. Anyways, let's get back to business.
And let's get one more tip in here. We got et.2k9.now, et.2k9.now, et.2k9.now. $5 tip says Astro Worlds demo would be sweet. Absolutely. I feel like we need to take the Super Mario route after your first set of games. You need to jump to Astrobot Rescue World. Oh, I don't know, maybe not. Astrobot 64.
And then give me Astrobot Racing, and then Astro Party VR, all of it.
Genetic Blasphemy in the chat with $2 tips says happy venereal disease. Have the best venereal disease ever.
You deserve that, GP.
Happy VD, he says. Have the best VD ever. Guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate all of you who hung out and watched the show. We also appreciate so many people in our community. Jay Meow, who gets this thing up on podcast services of your choice. And thank you guys so much for just constantly blowing away all of our podcast records. It's so cool to see how many of you are listening out there. Also, thank you, obviously, to AJ. Guys, please, for the love of God, subscribe to AJ's channel, PSVR Underground. The link's in the description below. If you don't already subscribe to Without Parole, click that link down below, or just hit the subscribe button. You don't have to go anywhere. Dude, my moderators are the best moderators in the world. They keep me sane. I've been tested over the last couple weeks, and they help pull me through. So I appreciate them, and I love them very, very much. Also, Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry, who saves me the trouble of putting timestamps in this. When I say saves me the trouble, I mean it wouldn't happen without Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry. So make sure you give him thanks and love and praise. And for that, we say thank you. There should be communion and wine or something. I feel like this is really going strangely. Also, everybody who watches the show, everybody who donates on patreon.com/withoutparolegames, everyone who helped during 20 questions, and of course, everybody who sat back and watched the show and didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there, and we love you just as much. AJ, can I cue the cat?
Cue the MF cat, Brian, because I want to say see you guys on West Day to GC13, the Diet Pepsi cat. Why, hello there. Zombie 5150 in the house tonight. How's that indoor hot tub doing, man? You crazy, bro. Right? You crazy.
He's the only person I know with an indoor hot tub.
To be fair, I have an indoor hammock. Is that weird? I don't think that compares to a hot tub.
Doesn't even compare.
Gabriel 004, the licensed meow game cat. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Secrets of in the house tonight. What's up, dude? Guys, let's spoke to you. Magic the Game Cat. Good to see you, homie. Thank you. Yelnick McWawa for Game Cat President.
Nice.
4 more years. 4 more years. Shapeshifter, the amorphous Game Cat. Hello.
Yes.
I still want to say Animorph. Diego Darko VR. Says cue to Game Cat. Oh yeah. King E Mighty Move Master Mick, the shape throwing PSVR Game Cat says TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
You remember.
I think I'm finally starting to remember it now. PSVR enthusiast, hello. This is for Valentine's Day. My wife let me buy a shirt that says I love parenthesis it when my wife parenthesis allows me to play video games. Yep, she's a keeper. Brandon 0159 says got mine pre-ordered, can't wait to get it next week. Let's go next week. Random Toxie, the game Smilodon, I love you too. Xavier, what up, yo? Shades of Gray Matter, my dude, says less than 10 days ago. Yes, 9 in fact, and even 8 for some of you across the pond. Brucey, no sheds. Game Cat says indoor hammock. What the fuck? Yes. Somebody was recently talking about their weird. I think somebody on the last GAMESCAST said that they like drunk purchased something at like 2 a.m. and they bought a PSVR2 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Mine was an indoor hammock, and it's great. It has literally saved lives.
What?
Yes.
Literally saved lives. There's
okay,
a story
maybe not saved lives. Maybe not saved lives.
Okay.
but save somebody from having to sleep on the floor.
That's a little slightly different than saving lives, dude. I can't.
There's germs on the floor. Okay, they could have gotten an infection somewhere.
In all seriousness, I made jokes during the show and before the show. It does not feel real that we are 9 days away from PSVR2. You and I have sat here for 3 years waiting for this thing.
Please don't remind me.
we have given up 3 years of our lives waiting for PSVR2, and it's finally almost here against all odds.
Yeah, man.
And I'm so effing excited. I should be bleeding. That's how excited I am.
Oh,
yeah.
That sounds like something like the way a lizard reacts, not a person.
Well, I mean,
a certain rare species of lizard.
I've never been accused of being a person before, so why start now? Jeppy Condell with a $5 tip says, awesome that the headset haptics are directional. He's a little behind, I think. I thought that wasn't possible because of the single motor. By the way, I'm an hour behind in this episode.
I love it. What up, Jeppy? Local homegrown game cat.
I hope he stays till the end.
Yes.
All right, you guys.
He will see this approximately an hour from now. 30 minutes from now. 37 minutes.
All right, you guys. I got to get out of here. I got to go reserve tickets for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh, God.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Have fun. Happy Monday.